Hey guys, how's it going? Jovan Hutton Pulitzer here, finally getting my first break in, I don't know, 13 hours or so. Anyway, I just wanted to drop in, say hi, answer some questions, etc., and just say hey to everybody. How's it going? And let me know where you're tuning in from. Would you put your where you are, right, in the message when you send the message, right? And if you look at my screen, so that's a Facebooker who's joining me. Irish Princess there, hi from Texas. That's somebody on YouTube that's a follower. So we got Spider in Vermont, Kendra from Kentucky, right? Red Ford from Kansas City, Temecula, there we go. Jennifer Holt, how's it going? Michelle Westbrook in Indiana here. Prince Diana, right? I love some of these names. And Facebook, Jody's Facebook, Michigan. Keith is Kentucky. Angel is in Oregon, Facebook. Jason in Virginia in Facebook. I used to live in Virginia. I love Virginia. I officially went to DC on my first period there. I guess the year was right at late '89, which was during the Clinton administration, and was there for the beginning of the Bush administration. I loved Virginia, right? I loved Virginia. The only thing I could never reconcile about Virginia, technically being a Texan, was them calling themselves Southerners. It was just kind of a weird disconnect for me. And I'm going, hell, I'm a Southerner, right? Hey, Pete's watching from Northern Ireland. Hey, Peter Wilson, thanks for tuning in. And I could never reconcile that, right? I could never reconcile that. And it was wild because to me, Texas is Southern. But I understand it's a Civil War thing. Kenneth says, hello from Illinois, but it's not my fault. Utah, Lady Anderson, how it's going, Julia? How's it? Nice to see you. Vancouver, New York. Look at that. It is EGA 0107. Hey, it's Jeffrey Filial. No, let me correct that for you. It's Jeffrey, Jeffry, which you got right. Filial, Philyaw, right? And the reason that's important is because, yes, that's my birth name long ago, not anything on my driver's license or credit cards or anything like that. I love people chiming in. That's great, right? Shania says, from you two, thanks so much for working hard on the election fraud. Thank you. Ajas from Ohio. Debbie, Mobile Alabama, Facebook, OYFE. Do you know what OYFE? Do you know my hashtag OYFE? Hashtag OYFE stands for open your fucking eyes. Yes, I'm a little more blatant here than you would see me in a Senate subcommittee, but that's because, hey, it's social media, roll tide. Sandra, Facebooker, how's it going, right? June, best of luck in the upcoming days. Thank you. I need it. Jason from Oregon. Hey there. Lucas Mitchell, ready for some turd slapping on anyone trying to shut you down like the other day. You know what, May? I don't know. I just came out, here it is, and called it like it was. I can only call it like it is. I am not known for being subtle. I am certainly not known for being what's the word I'm looking for? Gentle sometimes, right? Gentle sometimes. Kelley Rushwarm from Fredericksburg, Texas. I adore Fredericksburg. I adore Fredericksburg, right? United States Virgin Islands, Jim Hart. Boy, you must be suffering with the beautiful weather in islands. I understand it, but thank you for tuning in. We got Andrea from Pennsylvania. So I'm going to try to get Marcia Montez Staff. There you go, from the Gulf Coast of Texas. Thank you so very much. Steve says, you basically went out there and slapped them with a whale's penis. Open your fucking eyes. Slapped him with the whale's penis. Steve, just a question for you, brother. Could you see through the podium and get a good look at me? Ken says, how do we contribute? Here's how you can contribute. Share this stuff on your social media and just get other people understanding what's going on. Patty, Perry, King, Love Jovan, say the course, we are with you all the ways. I'm going to remind everybody what I've been doing, if that's okay. And thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I don't know if we were laughing at the whale penis comment there. That wasn't mine. I can't account originality, although I have been known to come up with comments like that. Julie, you're right. This is about a report. What it is what it is what it is. That's just it. Let's go to my video. For those of you who may not have, should we say, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe you didn't see all the reporting and stuff of what's going on. I want to show you a very funny photo first. I'm getting these memes from everywhere, okay? I'm getting these memes all over from everywhere. Take a look at this. Is that not funny? That is just the most hilarious stuff. I say people throughout history have been mummyized, but now it seems like if you do something people pay attention to, it's memeized. And so I've been memeized, and I think it's very funny. Somebody took this photo of Rudy Giuliani and myself, which people have been tweeting out. It looks like I could be Rudy Giuliani's son. Isn't that interesting, right? And they made this Thomas, look at me, made this Benjamin Franklin one, and somebody said that's Benjamin Franklin Hutton Hope. That is so damn funny. Those memes are great. I really appreciate y'all doing that. Those memes are great. I share them because, you know, if you're going to take time to do something like that, and I love humor, we don't have enough humor in our life, and certainly right now, a lot of people feel like crying. You don't have to cry. Humor makes it all feel better and get good with it. And so I love the memes, right? I actually think that's fantastic. I approve it, and I want people to see your great work, even if it makes fun of me. It's totally fine. I've seen some really funky ones. So let me show you what we're talking about. Catch you back up. Watch this.
With mail-in ballots being the most contested part of this recent general election, let's take a look at the ballot as a simple piece of paper. Paper has memory. If a ballot was mailed, there will be folds throughout the paper. Physics say that once the paper is bent, it can never go back to its original shape. Our systems can detect this. While looking at the paper ballots through our systems, we're not only able to tell was the ballot actually folded and mailed, but we're also able to track, did it go through the postal system and get accounted for? While looking at these ballots, we can look closely at the votes, and we can tell whether the vote was cast by a human hand or a machine. The human hand marking the oval leaves telltale signs of human dynamics. However, if the oval was filled in by a machine, it looks totally different under computer vision examination. Besides, there should be no ballots with already filled in votes. These are just a few of the things that can be detected in the paper that is the ballot. And remember, the paper is a piece of code as well. If that paper is misprinted or misaligned, it will force the voting system to ask for adjudication. Adjudication means somebody, an administrator, takes a look at the ballot and then they decide what the voter intent was. This is a potential area of deception. In the end, everything begins with the paper ballot long before it gets into the voting machine. The paper ballot is the actual historic artifact of exactly what the voter intended to do.
That's all this is about. And I know this is confusing to many people. But I can tell you, because I'm behind the scenes, that there are thousands of dedicated, not only patriots, but just scientists and researchers and mathematicians and forensic people, and even people from both sides of the aisle. This is a, believe it or not, a dual side of the aisle effort, just to assure that the voter integrity is there, right? It's just it. And you're welcome very much. It's a big effort. It's a big effort, and it's both sides of the aisles. And this is, although everybody wants it to be just about the presidency, it's not about the presidency, guys. It is about voter integrity, that the vote must be verified. The vote must be verified. That's it, right? And if the vote can't be verified, how is it that we can have great votes? Jody, Rihanna, Chase said, you have me at hello. Thank you very much. That's one of my most favorite movies, right? I love that. Since I come out of the media industry long ago, I could always relate to the agent and clients, right? And you got that one client, and you got to kind of make sure it happens. And somebody says, hey, look, okay, these are flying by so fast. You got to bear with me. So they can run the ballots through the folding process before you look at them. Don't worry, that can be caught, right? Weren't they caught with shredder trucks? There's video being documented right now of the shredding of the ballots. It's in process. I can't release it. Shirley, thank you. God bless you. You know what's important? You know what I really love? How many people have reached out and just say, we're praying for you and praying a hedge of protection around you. Thank you so very much. Of course, all of us have security all over us. And Julia says, I wish we were able to fix the Canadian government too. Think about this. The United States is looked up to in the world for voter integrity. And so isn't it true that if we fix this here, that we would fix it for everyone? Right? And that's what I find very happy, right? The easy part is prayers. No, that's the hard part. Just people being legal or being willing to pray protection for me. I think that's good. So here we'll cover different ones. What inspired all your books about treasure hunting? Of course, now you're seeing all kinds of things about me. And you're hearing about QCat, and people said it didn't sell, it was a flop. It was never for sale. It was absolutely free. It became the fastest adopted computer peripheral in history at the time. But here's how I got interested in treasure hunting. As a kid, my cousin and I grew up with a cousin that was like my brother, several years older. In fact, if you watch me on Curse of Oak Island, it's he who was with me. And the only difference is, about that time, I was probably only 4 feet tall and barely weighed 70 pounds, but he was about the same exact size since kindergarten, right? 6'6", 320. And we were at family land in Texas at the conjunctions of a river, and Aubrey's, his name, always used to jump out of the cypress trees into the river. Now, I technically was the city kid coming to the family ranch 60 miles out, right? And so Aubrey could do this absolutely dead on Tarzan yell. You remember the Tarzan yell, the call? Oh. Well, he could do it dead on. And he would climb up to the top of this 30-foot cypress tree. And while all of us little kids swung on the ropes, he'd dive and flip and jump off into the river. And so the water was fairly clear and green. I was kind of a wimp. I was worried about snapping turtles snapping off my toes. But people would come to this area, right? And they would swim, okay? And they loved it. They loved it. And in swimming off this bridge, so city folks would come in, and it was off a highway, and the river runs out of the highway, and we swing out of the trees, the waterfalls, all this stuff, and everybody'd lay it out on the bridge. So you got to remember when this is. I think the Omega Man by Charlton Heston had just came out. It was about the time just before Farrah Fawcett was it, and everybody parted their hair in the middle, but very tight Daisy Duke jeans had came in right at about that time. And so all these city people are on the overpass lane looking at the water, because it was an easy drive. Anyway, my cousin did his yell and dived out in the water, and then he didn't come up. Now, remember, I'm a young fellow. I'm 6 years old at this time. And he did not come up from the water. And all of a sudden, these bubbles come up, and I swore I could have heard him yell, which he did. He yelled underwater. And about that time, these money bags come floating up out of the water. Money bags. Now, you've never seen so many city slickers jumping into a river at once than when you see money bags floating to the top. But what the story ended up being was he could see down in the river from that height something that he thought was a little refrigerator. And he thought, wow, that's weird, right? And he went down, and it had been cracked open. It was a safe, and it was a safe from a bank robbery. And we opened it up. All this came out. Yes, the police were notified, and they came to the site, and a reward was offered. And it was a gift certificate for one hamburger at the local Whataburger. And he got it all. And that's how I got into treasure hunting, and that's what got me hooked. And then basically because I'm a researcher, I'm a deep researcher, forensics researcher, my patent life, it led me to studying treasures to help my mining business, sapphires, diamonds, platinum, etc., which got me off into exploring ancient legends of treasures lost in the United States. And then I started writing books, just telling treasure legends, but giving people the forensic method behind it, that if you really want to find them, you can be found there. This is my last comment on this. But when the Spanish came to the Americas and took all the gold to send back to Spain, 1/3 of it made it back to Spain, 1/3 of it sank in the ocean, and 1/3 of it is still lost in land throughout all the states in the United States. That's not including even Mexico and Canada and all that. However, if you were to do the analysis of lost gold out there still unaccounted for accounts for almost $14 trillion. Here is why gold is still out there lost. If you took a brick of solid gold that was about 16, 17, 18 inches square, meaning a perfect square, that square of gold would weigh almost 1 ton. That is why you cannot haul ass with treasure, and it's still out there. Okay, so let's see. I am staying. Paul says, Jovan, stay the course, my man. Stay the way you are. I'm gonna do my best, and I know it's it is disheartening to try to understand what's going on. And when you hear that there were these reports are coming from everywhere. Somebody just posted some. Let's see this out. Claudett says the ballots they showed in Georgia in a warehouse was sent from Phoenix, Arizona. That is not supposed to happen to different people than Arizona. This is fraud for nothing in our faces. There can be printers, designated printers from out of state, but all of those ballots should have a proper chain of command. He couldn't tell us if he did know. You're right. They think they want traders to know the evidence. Just look how much they have seen, and you can imagine what we don't know. Yes, you're only seeing the very, very, very tip of the iceberg. So that particular company, Run or something like that in Arizona, was sanctioned to print for Georgia, and that part was right. So Paula asked, were you able to do the forensic audit? We are in the process of everything. that's required for that. Philip says, JHP for president. Philip, I don't know why any person would willingly subject themselves to that anymore, right? They're going, and like I said the other day, of course, and Joyce and Joe, and I'm slurring my words because I'm so tired, in jest, that was guilty of physical harm to my mother. And I might as well admit it. And that was true, because I kicked her probably several hundred times when I was in the womb. And I know me coming out hurt like hell. But you might as well admit it now, because people try to find anything and everything they can on you. This is kind of the way it is. It's the way it goes. It's nasty and ugly. I don't know why anybody would want to really run from or run for being president. It really is. Why would anybody do that? William says, pour concrete into the swamp. You know why they call it a swamp. And you just have to understand this. And this does relate to treasure hunting. And this does relate to my work on the History Channel on the Curse of Oak Island. A swamp can be very beautiful and peaceful, right? You look out across it like the one on Oak Island, and it's perfectly glassy, and it's all kind of nice, and cattails and all kind of life, and frogs and ducks and cranes and birds and everything else like that, right? But if you get off into that swamp, you find out that the water is jet black. It's not plain. Not only is it jet black, it stinks. And whatever clothes you get off into it too, not only can you never, ever wash that blackness out of your clothes, but even when you shower, it takes 2 or 3 showers and a lot of soap to get off of that, right? To get that blackness off of it. And so that's it. I don't know if that's good, Ajale. Yeah, I broke the mold. I guess I did break the mold. But Phil, let me see. Somebody said something about Phil. Let me go up here and see if I can find the name Phil, right? And that's how I tell. And I have no problem with people that troll, right? As long as they're polite. In fact, I would send a troll a direct link at all, right, to talk. In fact, like there's somebody here like Swollen One. What are you trying to tell us? Anyway, a cable news channel is mentioned in Jovan at all, or is info about him and the election strictly found online? But see, I would put somebody on, right? Let's see, Oy Faye, Elizabeth. Who wants to join me online? I'll send you a link, and I don't care if you're a hater or a lover, right? If you want to join me online and talk about this, I will drop you in, right? I plan to stay safe, Albert, right? Somebody said, Thought Dakota, so you did radio? I thought your testimony was amazing. How are you an actor, producer, inventor, and author? I created what's now known as the triple cast. That means you could watch me on radio, on TV while I was doing my radio show, as I did internet streaming at the same time. That's back when it was broadcast.com, was known as AudioNet. And we were the first server at the radio station, my anchor radio station, 570 KLF. And we were the first computer show done that way and television show done that way. It's called the triple cast. So I get credits as both as an actor and a producer for that. Same thing for Curse of Oak Island or Discovery Channel or Science Channel or whatever. That's how I'm also listed as an actor and a producer. When you appear on series as an expert, it drops you into that category, calling you an actor. But long before you knew me, I was already a producer of television. I've got 1,000+ hours of live TV out there under my belt, and has produced a tremendous amount of content under it. So look, here's David Gomez. Now, David Gomez comes on quite regularly. America's lucky to have Joe Biden as president. David Gomez, I'm sorry. Would you like to join me live? Come on, brother. I've asked you before. You kind of hit and run, and that's it. Come on live with me, David Gomez. I have nothing against you, and you can absolutely adore Joe Biden. I would admonish my audience that don't attack you for whatever you believe. Let's just discuss it. David, you willing to do it? Let's just discuss it, right? Serena Calderon wants to know, how old are you? Here's what I know. This was very sobering for me, right? Very sobering for me. I am old enough that when I put on a suit and glasses and stand next to Rudy Giuliani, I have the same hairline, and he looks like he's my dad. It's sad but true. Take a look at that. That was such a sobering photo. Now, if you know me, I have incredibly long, wavy Jew curl. I can say Jew curl because I am a Jew. But for years, especially in radio and television, you'll see it if you go back and watch some of the archives, my hair was down to the middle of my back, and I always pulled it back in a ponytail. But I had super long, super big curly hair. It's still the same way. It's only in the back. I have outrageously curly hair. But I don't think pulling it back did me any service. My hairline is gone, right? Jew the man. Yes, I'm Jew the man. I am a man Jew. That is absolutely it, right? And people are saying, give it a try, David. Come on, David. Go online with me right now, etc. Okay. Are you racist against yourself? I must admit I am a racist. I'm a human racist. And I believe that all humans should have equal rights. And so since there is the human race, and I believe that, yes, I'm a racist. I'm a human racist. Thank you very much. Candy. I love the name Candy. I had a woman lady by the name of Candy when I was young, and she taught me the way of life. So you say you're my new hero in Georgia, so embarrassed, our SOS and governor. Look, it's fought with disinformation. That's the way it goes, Candy. But my Candy in my life spelled her name the same way and taught me quite a bit about life. She lived across the street. I was 16 and she was 32. And she looked like Lindsay Wagner. And I just had a permanent hard crush on her. And so you're right. Jewish isn't a race. You're right. I'm an Ashkenazi, by the way, right? Par says, sexy, laugh out loud. Does Canada use Dominion? I don't know. Sandra says, I love your sense of humor. If I didn't laugh, I would implode with the stuff I have to do. I would just implode. Are the ballot watermarks real? Hey, you know what, guys? I can show you this in real time. Now, pardon me looking away from the camera, but I got to look at my computer. I'm going to do something real quick. And I'm going to show you these codes. Is that okay? Give me one moment, and I will show you this. Stand by. Stand by. 2, hold on, bear with me, folks. I wasn't prepared to talk about that, but now I am. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I got to sync that down. Hang on, it went too big. 1, 2. And I know you're looking at me, but please forgive me that I'm just kind of doing this gobbledygook this way. Okay, here we go. Why is it doing that? My screen's kind of going fuck-a-doodle. Okay, now let me see if I can get it. Damn it. Okay, well, I'm going to show you anyway. It's kind of going sus. My king of kings. I love this guy. Thank you so much. Joms Jomzy01. Hey there, how's it going? Okay, ready? Here we go. I'm going to show you this. You've heard about the secret embedded code in ballots, okay? And here it goes. I'm going to go to my screen. Bear with me. Sharing screen. Don't get bored. I know it's horrible. Bam. This is the code that's hitting. Now, this is at the extremely minute level in the paper. It is not visible to your eyes. Okay, but you can see the yellow dots highlighted on my screen. That's basically what it looks like. And all printers have that in it. And now I'm going to show you how that is read so you understand what that code does, because it serves a very important purpose. Here we go, sharing my screen again. And here we go. It's a code within a code. And so basically, if you were to look at this, that hidden code that can only be detected with a proper forensic lens and frequency is basically explaining date, timestamp, when, where, and what machine. And this is a federal law. It is written into all printers in it. And you're right, Krebs said there was no watermark. It is a requirement on all printers. And they're there. And so what this does is, because when color printing machines came out, right, there was a worry about counterfeiting money. Because back even in when printers became home printers, there were people that just took dollars, put them on a copier, or a copy machine, copied them out, cut out the dollars, went to the car wash and fed the things to the car wash and just took the coins because it couldn't catch it. Well, they got that fixed, and then when really high-end color printing out, it made a problem for currency. And so in order to plug that, knowing that high-end color copying were coming out and soon they'd be a phenomenon that consumers could get their hands on, and it started back in the days of understanding the simple black and white counterfeit of dollars, because it wasn't reading the color of the dollar bill on the car wash machines, like I was telling you about. These codes had to be embedded so it could be tracked down. Okay. When it comes to security of the ballots, I want to know if there is a way to match the barcode or the QR code to the voter. Yes, let me give you a few things. You saw a fellow on Parler. He's probably gotten 750,000 views by now, and he showed 2 pieces of paper with Q codes on it. That's your receipt that comes back, and he says, "Look, they swapped my Q code and changed my vote." Well, other than him being a fucking idiot and lying to you to get traffic, that code is identical. And I called him out on it when he still had about 100,000 views or 80,000 views when it came to my attention. And he has rode that thing like a Tijuana, you know what I mean, and to get traffic. That code is identical. And you can run any QR code and see what the data is there. And I'll tell you how to do it yourself so you can verify it. You can basically go online. Let me show you this, and I'll show you how it happens. Hang on. Because, frankly, it pisses me off. Totally pisses me off that some bozorino like that would do it to get people all worked up. And I think that is absolutely screwball. That fellow in Buckhead, Georgia should be ashamed of himself. I tried to email him many times, and he wouldn't reply. He wouldn't reply because he knew he was caught. Let me show you how to do this yourself, folks. because you should be. If anything I'm about, if you watch me in history, it's about doing your own homework. Don't have other people do it for you. Trust yourself and inspect. Let me show you this. Bear with me. Here we go. This is only one of the sites. There's several out there. This one is called patrick.wide.at. See this here? You can turn stuff into a code, but you can also click up here that says I want to decode a Q code. Let me see if I have that son of a bitch's code. Pardon my French. Let me see, because frankly, he totally, literally pissed me off. Let me see if I can find it. Stand by, folks. And see, you know, we're all drinking through a fire hose right now, so it's nuts. Here we go. This is his code. Okay, so let me figure out how I need to do that. I've got to go, let me make sure I got the right one. Hang on. I've got to go choose file. I've got to select the code. Now I'm uploading the code. Right? See that right there? I've uploaded the code and it says it's detecting. And I hope this was one of the ones that worked fast. But basically, it will decode the Q code and it will show you the underlying information. So I'm going to let that run for a minute. No need to keep on watching my screen till it comes up. So let's ask some questions. Let's see what we've got here. Ooh. Did David Gomez ever chap up and say, come on, that he'd come on with me, right? Because I would love to just, if you got a problem with me, let's talk it out. Come on, just, you know, call me and whatever, and that's it. Fire hose drinking, yes. It's not like sipping out of a straw. It's not even drinking out of a glass. We've gone from fire hose drinking to fire hydrant drinking. Look at that. Great looking blonde woman telling me I rock. Thank you so very much, Jessica Matthews. I really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Somebody says, I just learned about you. You are the best thing ever. Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Rick Flair, do we know for sure the ballots in Georgia were shredded? The is not the correct word. The ballots, like, have ballots been shredded in Georgia? I'm going to show you some stuff really, really soon. Yes. Mark says you're the man. Thank you very much. Let's see what else we've got here. Mustafa 6 foot stomping the mud hole. A good one. Jovan is stomping the mud hole. I might actually have to put that into my bag of tricks. And that. Susan says I'm a sexy thing. Thank you, Susan. I really appreciate that. I do want to explain, you know, Bobby said, thank you for all you're doing to support our president. Although there is exchanges and stuff, I want to let you know, this is not about the president anymore. Bobby, I'm going to use your photo there. I can't see many people, but I think I can see a younger person in that photo, I think, right? Small on my screen. This, if you've got a child that is elementary school age or backwards, or a grandchild that is of that age and backwards, this is about them. This is not about the president. It is not about Democrats. It's not about Republicans, the Weed Party, the Green Party, the, oh my God, Socialist Party, or any of that. This is not even about us right now, although it feels like it and it hurts like hell. This is about those kids that are in junior high right now, and in 4 years, they're going to be of voting age. And if we don't get this fixed, this is not the America you or I grew up in. This is about them. This is about those kids and those people. And if voting is not fixed, they will be nothing more than a battery unit, just like the Matrix showed. Claudette wants to know, am I married? No, I'm not married. But I was probably born during the wrong time period. You know why I was born during the wrong time period? Maybe because I love history. And if you were to know certain things about your watch, I love to collect art, time period of my ancestors and stuff. But something tells me I would have just been a warrior king, and I would have had 50 or 100 wives, and I would have had 10 to 20 kids with each of those wives. And that's what would have been me. Now, here's a really interesting reason I think that way, right? The reason I think that way is not why you think, right? You might think, who wouldn't want, what dude wouldn't want 50 wives or 100 wives? It's actually a little bit different, although that'd be quite fun. I certainly wouldn't disagree with it, right? Sister wives or otherwise. Could you imagine what it would be like in those time periods to be a patriotic person, a good person, and a person who just wants to do good and contribute to society? Could you imagine if, in fact, you were a man and you did have 20 wives and you had 10 wives or 10 children with each of those wives, you got 200 kids? Could you imagine what just incredibly gifted and talented children with their heads on straight that you could put back out in society? Could you imagine how just incredible that would be, to be able to do that, to be able, in kids today that grew up differently, latchkey kids or whatever. I mean, just imagine if you had the resources and talent, abilities, and wherewithal to homeschool those kids and to give them incredibly valuable skills and education. And don't only think that's Bible thumping or something like that. That's not it. Teach them the sciences, teach them the disciplines, teach them history, teach them how to apply the scientific theory, teach them how to be creative, teach them how to invent, how to have courage, how to have bravery, how to lead. And could you imagine putting 200 powerful kids and leaders out there on college campuses and watching that multiply? You don't think that works? Look at the Muslim culture or the communist culture. It works. I would just be on the opposite side of the equation. And you're right. Growing up in the 80s was wonderful. I saw somebody said, hang on, you teach them how to ask the right questions. You teach them how to ask the right questions. Kelley, when do we start reviewing ballots? It's underway right now, right? It's underway right now. 200 kids by 20 wives mean you're going to be mass production of a hot mess. No, it's mass production of a hot mess if you're a horrible parent. But if you've got good partners and you're great parents and you pay attention to what matters, right? Look at Yahoo and look at their news feed. Who the shit gives a rat's hoo-hoo about what t-shirt the Kardashians wore, what sandal they wore, or what celebrity posted on the porn site and pissed off all the other porn stars because they made $2 million in one day and the poor porn people didn't make enough and it took away their money. Think about that, right? Think about that. I'd let my kids use computers to study into whatever. I would never expose them to social media until they were mentally equipped to deal with it and to understand everything about it. It wouldn't be a hot mess. It would be just the opposite. And you know what? That's it. Teach them common, practical sense. We let our kids be raised by television, guilty myself, raised by television. And we have been trained that 40 digits of text is a headline and equates to news. How stupid have we been? Me guilty as well, right? Kimberly Kim, great, popped up, thank you. With a bang, may I add. Kimberly says, you're great, glad you popped up. With a bang, you might add. Thank you very much, right? Thank you very much. Got an amen. Somebody asked how many wives. Hang on. Do you think there's a global reset trying to be enacted? Eric Lloyd asked. I think there's a reset being in it. Why would anybody want to? Let me go back. Let me rephrase this. Your question is there a global reset trying to happen? When our country fought for freedom of speech, and if you know your history, you know the freedom of speech movement was birthed at Berkeley University in California. You got to let us speak. You got to let us say our way. You can't control it. Blah, 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 blah. And it's right. Freedom of speech took off. And that same hotbed of freedom of speech these days later now basically decide if you don't think like me, you are not valuable, or you should be rounded up and arrested, or you should be killed, because if you don't think like me, you're defective. That sounds like a global reset to me, right? There's no standard for fact checking. I've already told you this before. If you haven't tuned in to me before, let me explain the fact checking process to you right here on Facebook. You can publish something that Facebook doesn't like. There's an artificial intelligent program that runs in the background of Facebook where we're talking right now, or should I say where we're talking right now. And that program basically looks at what everybody's talking about. Everybody's talking about, okay? And it runs an algorithm. And when certain things reach a fevered pitch and start trending, specifically if you happen to be a conservative, the computer pops up, whips out a paragraph that this might be called into question, pulls a little lines from it, and it immediately posts it to a site called leadstories.com. I'm going to show it to you. Okay, now what I think here is very interesting, but you're going to love this. Ready? I busted this out. If you look at my wall, I think it might have been 3 weeks ago, and I busted it out. All this thing is doing is a fact debunking site. Before I busted it out, it was all the political stuff, right? And anything that came out about Trump, they were doing. Now they're doing bullshit about the war, the Allied security operations, American Medical Association. Absolute horseshit. They weren't doing that then, but let me tell you how it works. And so when conservative things start trending, the computer kicks in, writes a paragraph, and literally posts it to leadstories.com, which is only a site. It is created by artificial intelligence. Then Facebook uses leadstories.com to post it that this might be disputed fact. Then that story is pushed out to the media, and the media, they get one outlet to say the same thing, and that becomes the confirming fact, and that's where you get the little screen over the screen. They know if they say this is questioned, that maybe 40-50% of you won't click any further, you won't believe it. Then they know when they put that warning over the screen, you got to click to see through it, that maybe 96% people won't click through. So AI looks what's up for you as a conservative, tags a paragraph, automatically publishes it to Lead Stories, calling it dubious. Lead Stories releases it to the liberal press. Liberal press writes another story quoting Lead Stories. It comes back to Lead Stories. That's counted as a second source. Facebook covers the thing and tells it's disputed. By the way, leadstories.com is founded by a man who was a CNN editor for 35 years, and his funder is Facebook. Now that's what you call a circle jerk. But that's how the fact-checking system works, that most people do not want to know about. Nothing's done about it. It is absolutely rigged. It's horrible. It's horrible, because the first fact-checking thing that they did on me was when we broke the video in Georgia of the ballots, coming out from under the table, and they called it not a fact check. Well, then the stories comes out from the people there saying, no, it wasn't done. What do you think they're going to say? Oh, yeah, you caught me, send me to prison for 20 years? Of course they're going to say it's not true. But did they call any of the people there? Did they find out who the people were on the ground and interview them? No. So there's no fact checking. Julianne Law, wonderful photo, by the way, asked, how many states have called you? Multiple states are in process. Yep, Buck Wild. Look at that. I got swollen one and Buck Wild. Or is that the Buck Wild swollen one? I don't know. Problem with fact checking is people do not know actually what fact means. Isn't that the truth? If you ever wondered about the damage to society that occurs when certain things are stopped being taught in junior high and high school, look at where we are today. They stopped teaching history facts, and they want to stop teaching about the Civil War because it's distasteful. But when you stop teaching about it, society forgets it. They no longer teach history, and they no longer teach civics and governments classes, and that is why the nation right now doesn't understand this kind of stuff has happened before, doesn't understand there's a constitutional remedy for it, and doesn't understand there's already laws on the books. And that is the cause and effect of not teaching civics, governments, and history. Okay, I'm going to take a few more questions, and then I'm going to let you go. I only did this spontaneous. Audits, yes. Speak Up America, damn right. Let me see. I'm trying to keep them up. They go past me real fast. Hang on. You're right. People do not dig anymore, Heidi. S. Bender, I was taught propaganda techniques in grade schools in the 60s. Hey, did y'all see the video out there about propaganda? You may have just joined me. Take a look at this. Hang on. I think I still have it on my system here. I think. Hang on. Let me see if it's this one. Watch this.
Have you ever heard of the Open Technology Fund? The Open Technology Fund is an American nonprofit corporation with the aim to support global internet freedom technologies. During the Obama administration, the United States Congress recognized Radio Free Asia and the Broadcasting Board of Governors as an appropriate engine to empower citizens worldwide to use the internet as a safe and secure platform for free speech. To this end, the Open Technology Fund was created in 2012 as a program of Radio Free Asia, broadcasting over the radio, and then the internet throughout China, including in Xinjiang and Tibet. Radio Free Asia knew well both the challenges and importance of providing independent media content in censored environments. It was out of this context that the Open Technology Fund was born. But is the Open Technology Fund really a Trojan horse for disruption? The U.S. Agency for Global Media used to be the Broadcasting Board of Governors. However, what it really was discreetly was actually the Department of State, thus a byproduct of the Arab Spring courtesy of none other than Hillary Rodham Clinton. The Smith Modernization Act of 2012, enacted by President Obama, made it legal for them to pay corporate media outlets to publish news anonymously. This news was actually fake, and it was specifically propaganda curated by the government for the United States citizenry to consume as fact. This news, which was never real to begin with, is funded by the United States taxpayers. The President of the United States of America at the time, Barack Obama, made it legal to broadcast completely fake news to the American people. This gave broadcasters the right to run with any story, even though there was no basis in truth. Mass media was given legal cover to do the bidding of the Obama administration without legal ramifications.
My jaw hit the floor when I saw that. I'm going to suggest you get a pencil and a pen. I'm going to play it again for you. I want to write it down because you can do your own homework. You can see this is real, and now you can understand why fake news is rampant. It was weaponized against Americans during a previous administration and used successfully to turn this nation. And when that administration went away, they could still get away with it because it was law, and that allowed them to throw away reporting and basically say anything they wanted against anyone they did not agree with. Get your pen and paper. Here we go. We're going to write it again. Don't forget, when you rewatch this video, you can pause it, screenshot it, and see it. But you need to see this again because it is a holy shit, aha, eye-opening, open your fucking eyes moment. Here you go.
Have you ever heard of the Open Technology Fund? The Open Technology Fund is an American nonprofit corporation with the aim to support global internet freedom technologies. During the Obama administration, the United States Congress recognized Radio Free Asia and the Broadcasting Board of Governors as an appropriate engine to empower citizens worldwide to use the internet as a safe and secure platform for free speech. To this end, the Open Technology Fund was created in 2012 as a program of Radio Free Asia, broadcasting over the radio, and then the internet throughout China, including in Xinjiang and Tibet. Radio Free Asia knew well both the challenges and importance of providing independent media content in censored environments. It was out of this context that the Open Technology Fund was born. But is the Open Technology Fund really a Trojan horse for disruption? The U.S. Agency for Global Media used to be the Broadcasting Board of Governors. However, what it really was discreetly was actually the Department of State, thus a byproduct of the Arab Spring courtesy of none other than Hillary Rodham Clinton. The Smith Modernization Act of 2012, enacted by President Obama, made it legal for them to pay corporate media outlets to publish news anonymously. This news was actually fake, and it was specifically propaganda curated by the government for the United States citizenry to consume as fact. This news, which was never real to begin with, is funded by the United States taxpayers. The President of the United States of America at the time, Barack Obama, made it legal to broadcast completely fake news to the American people. This gave broadcasters the right to run with any story, even though there was no basis in truth. Mass media was given legal cover to do the bidding of the Obama administration without legal ramifications.
Okay, so I'm not gonna look at you any longer. I'm gonna look at my screen because I want to put your give you as much little screen time as I can. You now have that video, so you can see it. Show Republican ballots with misprints right now on camera. You hack! You are just a fraud with some Photoshop skills. And damage has been done to the cause cannot be emphasized enough. Philwo, did I hurt your feelings? Did I hurt your feelings? Hey, is it that kid that's actually typing for you that's got his feelings hurt for this truth? Oh my God, Philwo, I hope you don't feel bad about your feelings and a hack like me. You know what? If I was a hack, you know what's really interesting? If I was inconsequential, if I didn't know what I was talking about, if I didn't have a voice that 10.5 million people reached with that Senate hearing you saw me on, do you know what a truth is? You, Mr. Phil Lowe, and your fee-wee-wings wouldn't be trolling me because I wouldn't matter. You troll because I'm right and I matter. And I hope that did hurt your feelings. Anyway, that's me. And I try to put some of these up, right? So people can see and read things. I call it like it is. That's it, right? So there's A-Man, Phil Lowe's an idiot, damn straight, tell him, ha ha, Justin Kringle, sorry. Are you going to testify in front of Congress on the 6th? I cannot announce that. Did senators with ballot barcode, District 8 arrest ballot barcode was Buckhead, rest were Rex and Walls were District co-arrest Buckheads. Well, I saw you print that, and you know that possibly there was a period missing and a comma missing and a space missing, and that really wasn't a true red color. And I know the thing was misaligned, and I understand what you're saying. And if you listen to the thing about the people worrying about the ballots, you understand I was only showing out there when you looked up the zip code. I'm not the web person. I don't write that. I understand that. What I suggest is maybe you and Phil Lowe get together and audit it all. Send it to me. We can talk about them all. I do absolutely know, Miss Collins, that I missed a period, an indentation, that my leading, now leading is the left and the right and the center and the gaps in between, that my leading was off, because other people have notified me of those egregious mistakes. But I do understand what you're saying. Thank you very much. Let's see what else I've got. I got a Kelley 22. I got a get 'em from Tammy Talks. Rudolph says, why the fuck are we forced to pay for shit without the politicians ever having to ask the American people if we'd like our tax dollars spent on that shit? A fucking man. Freedom of speech, you bet it. Jenny says, I freaking love you, Jovan. Get that troll. Any thought on Facebook deleting Joe Biden's Not My President group? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Gotta love the trolls. I think trolls are great. The David Gomez's of the world are everywhere. People laugh your ass off. Truth always win. I'm just trying to show you some of this stuff. And I just want to let you know, the only reason I'm doing this is for truth. That's it. It is going to be what it is going to be, what it is going to be, right? Jovan, where have you been all my life? Jeremy Nelson. Jeremy, you're trying to hit on me? Is that why you put old Benjamin in the same photo there? Anyway, Jill. Hey there. Jillian Joe, one of my very, very good friends. How you doing? Phil Lowe, you made some fans. She's even, the Chevy chick is even thumbing her nose at you. Look out. Look at that. And so I just want to let you know, this is a labor of love. It is what it is, what it is, what it is. And that is because, you know, we just got to text them. That's it. We just got to run these things through, get a digital forensic copy on the thing. Where in your earlier in the broadcast, he has shown proof. Okay, got it. PC is BS. Love fee wings. Yes, fee wings. You spell it a little bit different, Joshua. Feawings. I spell it Fweelings. And the reason I do that is fee wings. I go fee wings. It's my fee wings. Don't hurt my fee wings, because I bet Phil's like that. He's saying, you hurt my fee wings. I didn't get a trophy, and I showed up for the baseball team, and I should have got a trophy. And you better think like me, or you're mean. So that's kind of what I have in my head that I think these people are, right? So people have some thoughts on Phil. I can only call it like it is, right? I can only call it like it is. Why? I would never think about getting onto somebody's site trolling them. Do you know how just freaking idiotic that is to say, I don't like what you're saying, so I'm going to give you my valuable time and attention to pay attention to every word you say just so I can troll you. If that's not some weird psychosexual stalking attraction to another dude, man, call it what it is. You're watching me because you dig my shit, right? You wish people paid attention to you because you dig my shit and you want attention paid to you. You troll me so people look at you, so some of me splashes on you so you get attention. How sick is that? Why don't you just become a fan? Just become a fan. You're there anyway. You know I'm right. It makes common sense. Why troll? I would never give anybody my time that I didn't agree with. That just boggles my mind. You hate me so much. You think I'm trying to pull the wool over your eyes, but yet you're trolling me. You're not trolling me because you think I'm lying. You're trolling me because you want to try to change people's opinion of me. Get your shit together. Get a life. Find something that interests you. But trolling, you had a precious son you're holding. Are you going to teach that baby that this is what life's about? That if you don't agree with people, you get online, you call them names? How freaking sick and demented is that as a parent, and you're modeling it? Wake up. Wake up. Anyway, I am so sorry. I like that. Let's see where to go. See you salty savages in DC. I love that. Okay. So I really love what everybody's doing, sharing this. I really appreciate it. you're only going to get me as it is. I'm sorry, Heidi, for making your side hurts. Sometimes I'll make you laugh till you pee. That's probably the way it goes. I can't help it. I can't help it. We're on it. We're doing it. We love every one of you. There are incredible patriots standing up for you. I'm looking at so I can see the comments. I just want you to understand that. If you just understood how many good people, if you understood how many people are doing this, right? Are doing this. Look at that. Jill Queen, love watching and listen to you, even though it's 4:30 a.m. in the UK. Thank you so very much for investing time in me. I appreciate it, right? Virgie says, ignore the trolls. If I ignore the trolls, they grow. I would rather call them out for the idiots they are, because there's 3,339 people that get to see what that idiot did. And I would rather shine a mirror on them, because when you take light, like sunlight, and you shine it on that spot, you burn it up. Ignoring doesn't work when I have them here, right? Anyway, I just want you to know that this is it. Hannah says, don't feed the trolls. I love feeding the trolls, because I call the trolls to come on with me, right? Cecilia says, pluck the trolls out. Yes, they get plucked out. When I know who they are, I pluck them out, right? But that's also why I call them out. No, the Georgia race is not screwed. I assure you, the Georgia race is not lost, not screwed, not over. Kevin Dickerson, I love your comment, brother. I'd put it on the screen, but I don't think I could even do that one. Houston's watching, right? Houston watching. Who knows where to find that video about the Smith Monetization Act? You get it here. You can cut it out of this broadcast if you want it. I found it on Twitter, right? Where did I find it? A person you should follow on Twitter, Nick, N-I-C, like Nancy, Indian, Charlie, N-I-C _ O-H, like Ohio or something like that. Nick _ N-I-C _ O-H or O-H-I or something like that. I think that's where I find it. I have a really good memory for recalling things like that. Anyway, that's it, right? If nothing comes out of this, thank you for being the one to stand up for Americans who can't do what you do. I'm only doing my part and my gifts, and thank all of you, right? Funny, YouTube only says 700 watching. Isn't that funny? I see the real number, and right now it's declining a little bit because I've gone over an hour. It's 3,861. Anyway. Oh, there it is. There it is. Hey, did somebody do it? Hey, wait. I just saw it. See, these comments are flying by so fast, right? There's over 2,000 some odd comments. I can't keep up with them. There's Twitter, Nick _ O-H-I. Okay. I'm 70. You rock. No, Steve, you rock. And you know why you're the smartest man in the room? I'm not the smartest man in the room. You know why you're the smartest man in the room? Because you're 70 years old, and they will tell you the older you get, you're locked in your ways, and your mind, brother, is open up to what I'm talking about. And that shows you're not old. You are young, ripe, and willing to learn. And that is awesome. Tammy says, am I safe and protected? I absolutely am. It's really weird having security sleep outside the door, right? Or like walk around to do all the other stuff, checking the whatevers, right? And now here you go, ready? I got in trouble for this because I said it in front of a crowd, but that night there were tons of people around. I'll leave my pardon comment. Anthony Flavo says, what was the look on their faces when you said, I'm in the machine right now? I think when everything was shown, all I could tell you is, and I got another love note. Hang on, there it is. Wait, oh, damn it. Oh, see, it's moving so fast I can't even click on it. Hold on, right there. Okay. What was the theme in the room? What were their faces? Sue, cover your ears, please. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I said my point hit home when all of a sudden when I dropped that bomb that I heard this incredible sucking sound, and the room started to smell like the aroma of shit. And when some of the people on the wrong side of the aisle got up and their chairs were still sticking to their ass because they sucked it up through their cushion, I knew I hit my point. And with that, I'll tell you good night. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. I just appreciate what's going on. I'm sorry if I'm offensive. I do appreciate it. If you appreciate my sense of humor, I just want you to know I have family and young ones to worry about too, on all ranges. And this is not about me. It's not about any one person. I happen to be out there. There are far more people than you can ever imagine. Some patriots have put very big jobs, barely, just amazing, incredible jobs on the line to make this happen. And you're right, 74 million plus are concerned. And that's just it. I love you too. Have a great weekend. I only want to come on spontaneously. I'm going to release another report very soon. And thank you, all of you, for your prayers. I greatly appreciate it. Good night. Love you. Take care. Bye-bye. Please share this. Please share this. Please share this. Please share this. Thanks. Bye-bye.